Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a haul video. I haven't done one of these in ages, and I hope you'll pardon my dirty mat. Geez. Anyway, so yeah, I went to Liq yesterday. There is a brick and mortar Liq store near me. Oh, and if you see any shadows on this, I'm sorry. I'm having issues with my lighting, so I apologize in advance. I've been having lighting issues, so sorry about that. But yeah, I went to Liq yesterday. We have a brick and mortar store that is about 30 minutes from where we live. So it's doable. And I got to basically just, my husband parked across the street and I went in and spent an hour just looking over stuff. I mean, there's a lot to see. It's fairly, one of their smaller stores. I also have a couple of things that one of which I got in Michael's and the other I got on Amazon that I want to show you because they're really cool and I just haven't had a chance to show them to you guys. So without further ado, let's get the book, sorry. Okay, so first thing I'm going to pull out, without bashing my camera, is this. Now, this is something that I'll be honest, I've become a little disillusioned with pan pastels. I've not had very good luck with them, and it's not like they're, you know, how they lay down or anything like that. It's just that I'll show you in a minute. This is a container that you can put them in, and it's really the best way to store them. They are fragile and they're expensive. Nice bag, by the way. I think I'm gonna keep that. This is really the best way to store them. So it holds 10 pans, and I'll show you how it works. So to my shame, this is kind of how I've been storing mine. So I'm going to push this aside, and I'm going to pull this up so we have a wider screenshot, and please excuse my messy desk. As you can see, I have my most messed up ones inside this, and this is how they look when they're full. And you can see well, hopefully you can see right here how it's, especially this one, it's messed up. Oh, this one's really bad. Can you see that? This is what I've been dealing with. And so I should have, they're all kind of cracked like that. It's just, they're too expensive, and when a big chunk like that breaks off, it's just like, you know, taking a few dollars and just burning it. So, and dropping them doesn't help either, FYI. So, what you do is you can't stack them like this, like I have right here, and that's better than just, you know, letting them go wherever. So, this is what I mean. Hopefully you can see that. Oops. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's very, I've tried pushing on it, you know, I've tried everything to get that to stop crumbling, and it just doesn't work. So, and of course dropping it didn't help any. You can push it down and sort of I'll show you here. You can kind of do that, but it's just a temporary fix. I mean, you're using a lot of pigment, but I mean, you can smush it down that way if you want. But what you do is you just, hold on a second, I gotta take the other lid off. Hold on, I'm being a doofus. There we go. All right. I was like, why is it not going in the hole? Anyway, there. and that's how they go in basically. So if you have ones that are damaged like this, I had a couple I think came like that, honestly, and I just didn't. I should have returned them a little sooner than and now it's obviously too late. Excuse me. So, but you just basically kind of take them out of the little things here and you just store them in. This keeps them a lot safer. I'm looking for ones that are like in a similar color palette. Let's see. Well, I don't know if this is similar, but it'll do. So whenever I go down there, I usually will get one instead of ordering it online. Let's see, I have one more. Let's find one that's messed up. No, this one's not messed up. Ooh, that looks pretty with that though. But I think I have these in another one. Okay, so that's kind of how that goes. And really that is the best way to store these, in my humble opinion. I mean, that's what they're made for. Not to be tossed around like that. So, and then you just put the lid over it like that. And ta-da! They're gonna last you and stay unjacked up, if that's even a word, far longer than if, what in the world? Sorry, it's just glue from the thing that was on it. Anyway, there we go. So, but that's the best way to store these guys. Don't do what I did. And you can even stack these too, by the way. See? So, that's my recommended modus operandi for the best way to store these. So I'm going to put that away, and we'll move on to the next thing. Let me set that aside. All right, so next thing is when I have a pool in our area that I go to during the summer. I'm blessed. And I like, sometimes if I can find a table, because there used to be a bunch of them and they've all kind of disappeared, and it's just, the people that are in charge don't really do a great job. But either way, if I can find a table, I'll take some watercolor supplies with me and I will just relax and paint while I'm sitting in the sun with my suit on and watching the kids play and whatnot. So I thought this would be a great thing to take with me. I mean, I can do it this way, like, portrait style, or, I can do landscape. I mean, how cool is that, right? So, and the paper, the paper, I don't think it's 100% cotton, but it's really thick. It's rough on this side, and it's a little smoother on the other side. So one side's quite a bit rougher than the other. So if you want something you don't want to spread as much, use the smoother side. If you want something to bloom and blossom and kind of go organically, use the rougher side. That's a little tip. This is great. It's by Canson, and let's see, it's 140 pounds. I believe these usually run about $10 to $13, give or take, depending on where you get it from. But the poundage is, as I said, 140. It's pretty reasonable. I just love how sturdy it is, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with this summer. So that's pretty great. Let's see. Next, I got a couple of these because, as you saw from a previous video, I like to make my own. I'm learning how to make my own palettes, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, you can buy them. I have tons of, you know, ones that are already pre-put together, but, you know, I wanted to have fun and do my own. For example, if I could get this without falling and everything, this is, if you remember from the video, the tutorial video, let's make a watercolor palette. This is using these little tight tins, and just you'll have to watch the video to find out how I did it. And as you can see, some dried very different than others. It really depends on how much, how new the paint is, the quality of the paint, and whether you might have used a little too much mineral spirits, which I did in this one right here, the green one. So it's always a little soft. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and you can just really customize things to your, you know, how you want it. It's a lot of fun. So I would highly recommend something like this. And these, you can get these little tins with or without these little things. These ran me about $7.49, $8, give or take, you know, depending on tax and stuff per pack. So that's not unreasonable. Sometimes these will come with these things, and sometimes they won't, but they're very cheap, $10, $15 maybe. So that's just food for thought. It's a ton of fun. So watch my video and you'll see how it's done, or how I do it. Now, the other thing I got was some light molding paste. I have it. I have the heavier stuff, and I found that it was just a little bit too. It was just a little bit too stiff for some of my applications. So I wanted to pick up one that was a little bit lighter and not quite as stiff. And that ran me about $13, $14. A lot of what I got was on sale. They were having a huge sale. They are. Like, buy 6 and you get like, you only pay like $2 something per item. It was like that on a lot of things, so I kind of made out like a bandit. Oh, it's got a thing. Well, let's pull it off and we'll see how it looks. Well, we're gonna try to pull it off. I have arthritis, so sometimes pulling stuff off is not always in my wheelhouse. My hands, you know, get really painful. So. Oh, if you hear landscaping, I apologize. I don't know. They're doing edging, weed eating. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, you can see a difference. Here, I'll get my old one out. I'll show you. Okay. This is the difference. This is modeling paste, like just straight regular modeling paste. You'll see a very obvious difference. I mean, besides the fact that there's paint inside mine. I'm so messy. Let's see, I'll grab a popsicle stick and you'll see the difference. Okay, this is the modeling paste. You see how stiff that is? I hope you can see that. That's pretty stiff, and I'm going to actually leave some of this out because it's got paint in it. God, how did I manage to do that? Okay. I don't even know. All right. Wipe that off. Okay. Now, here's the difference in the light modeling paste. Do you see how much softer it is? I mean, it still holds, but you can shake it off the stick, whereas that one probably wouldn't. But you see how much softer it is? So this is going to be a lot better for me when I want to put some over a stencil or mix with paint. I would recommend this or gel instead of this, because this is really, I mean, you know, it's just, gracious, you know, this is about the only way to get it off. So that's just my recommendation for that. And I have not uploaded the video that I did on like the molding paste and the gel paste and stuff like that. I'm going to be uploading that probably sometime today. It's about an hour long, but it's really, really in depth, and it's really, I think I worked really, really hard on it. So I really hope you guys get some value out of it. So let's dive into this. Check that out. Let's see if that's all of them. No, I think that's all of them. Yep, that's all my paint. Cool. Ta-da! I went all in on the Daniel Smith. So, and these are, a couple of these are colors I've never heard of. And I thought, new color, cool. So, these ran between $11 to $14. It depends. Some are, oddly enough, more expensive than others, and I guess that's just because maybe the pigment itself is more expensive to come by. I'm thinking. So, I think the most expensive one, if I'm thinking about it, would be the Moon Glow. The Moon Glow is $14. That was the most expensive one, and I believe that's this one. Would you guys like to see a little quickie swatch? Because I'm going to pull out something else that you're going to find fun. And these were about $3 a piece. Look at these little things. Looky, looky. One is hot press and the other is cold press. But look at that. Isn't that like super adorable? You can make little flip books out of these. Because that's kind of the deal these days. But look how stiff that paper is. This is Stonehenge. Legion Stonehenge. I thought these would be great to take to the pool with me also. I mean, aren't they absolutely adorable? So, let's pull out I'm going to pull out a sheet. I saw these in a little container. I was like, oh, they're so cute. I mean, how adorable is that, right? Well, I drop everything. That's just so adorable. So, let's see. All right, so I have a brush. And let's see how this looks. We're going to, obviously, the Chinese white, the titanium white, I don't think I need to do, and it's not going to show up anyway. But the difference between Chinese white and titanium white is much brighter. Like, if I had some Chinese white handy, I would show you, but the titanium white is much brighter. You'll see a visible difference. Okay, so let's try the Bloodstone Genuine. I have never heard of this color, guys, but I'm excited to see how this... And it's not busting out of the top of it, which is really good, because sometimes, especially with the Cotmans and the Winsor Newtons, they tend to just explode out of the tube. So that's not doing that. I'm very happy for that. So I'm going to get this paper a little wet. I love the teeny little paper. Let's zoom in so you guys can see, because that's really small. There we go. Hopefully that's better. All right, let's just get a little spot wet here. Okay. And I'm going to just dip it directly into here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, you guys. Seriously, I'm excited. Oh, check that out. Whoa. I think I had a little too much water there, but that's okay. What you can do is just get a paper towel, or I highly recommend these hand towels. I get a big bunch of them at BJ's. They're like paper towels on steroids. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. This is granulating too. I'm almost certain this is granulating because of the way it's separating. Whoa. That is amazing. Whoa. I can't wait to see what that looks like dry. Yep, that is definitely granulating. No question. Let's look on the tube. I'm gonna have to use my old lady magnifier because, well, you know. Let's see. Primatech, Daniel Smith. Now I'm wondering if Primatech owns Daniel Smith. Or vice versa, maybe. Because that's odd to me that Primatech, it would be on a Daniel Smith. Anybody in the comments, let me know if who owns who. Like, does Primatech own Daniel Smith or vice versa? If you know, put it in the comments and let me know. I'm very curious about that. So let's see if it says anywheres on here. They place these things in different places. Okay, so it says here, light fast is series 2, light fastness 1, which means really good, I think. It does not say anything about opaqueness that I can see. Oh, here it is. It says pigment, genuine bloodstone, gum Arabic solution. The vehicle conforms to ASTMD something or other. It does not say. It does not seem to say. And then I don't know. If I'm missing something, let me know in the comments, guys, because I don't see here where it says how opaque it is. I know it's granulating. I mean, geez, that's way obvious. And if you get too much on it, just kind of go like that before it dries too much, and just kind of see how I just kind of removed the good chunk of it, just like that. That's all you have to do. Except if you get too much water or too much paint before it dries too much, that's what you can do to get rid of some of that. So let's try the next color. Ooh, this is Aurelian Cobalt Yellow. I could say Cobalt Yellow a whole lot easier than the other. This is this one's busting out of the thing a little bit. See, this is what I don't like. I don't know if you guys can see that, how that's popping out of the tube. I really hate that. Daniel Smith doesn't do it as much as like the Cotman does, which is the Winsor. I believe it's the Winsor Newton generic, which, by the way, is a very good quality paint in its own right. Oh gracious me! That is, yeah. Oh, there we go. I squeezed at the bottom, and look, it sucked it back in. Look at that! Ah! It sucked it back in. I was squeezing down at the bottom, and it sucked it back in. That's awesome. Low. That's cool. All right, let's rinse my brush out and let's do another one. That was fun. That's a neat little trick I just learned. Try it, guys. If it may or may not work, I can't promise you it will, but it worked for that one. All right. Make sure I don't have any. Pay attention to if you've got a lot of water sitting too high in your ferrule. I dipped my brush too far into the water. So, oh, and always drag your brush along your water thing. Here, let me show you. This is kind of an important side note. Here, let me, and please excuse the dirtiness. I've got to clean this thing. I recommend a magic eraser, guys, for real. I'll show you sometime. Okay, just take your brush and do this. Put a little pressure up near the ferrule, but not on it, and just let it set for a second or two and then drag. That's how you get a lot of that extra water. You want to do that 99% of the time. Okay? I don't think I put enough water down. Oh, that's a first. Whoa, that is gorgeous. Whoa. Wow. Wow. It's going to be interesting to see how that looks dry. Because you know, if you know anything about watercolors, you know that it dries sometimes vastly different, depending on the pigments, the transparency, all this stuff. It's going to dry vastly, and what it's layered over, for example, too, can also change how it looks when it dries. I can't wait to see these when they're dry. Oh my gosh, that color is astounding. I could probably make that. It's just like basically green. It looks like it has undertones of green and yellow, but still, dang, that is gorgeous. Woof. So here's the Indian Throne Blue, and I absolutely adore this. I have it in a little cake form, but I'm starting to steer away from those since I mostly paint at home. The only time I want the cake ones is like when I go to the pool or I'm out. I guess you would call it plein air is what I believe they call it. I don't do that very often except when I go to the pool during the summer. I don't know, but I love this color. It's like a beautiful mix of a little black, a little blue, a little purple. It's an absolutely stunning, stunning color. I still don't know where, if any, it shows the opaqueness on it. Please let me know in the comments, guys, if I'm missing something. My eyes are sort of bad, and I need new glasses, so sometimes I don't see things. You know, that's hence I have this. I'm not letting my disabilities define me, though, you know? So, whoa, that is definitely opaque. Partially, at least, I would say. At the very least, it's partially opaque. Wow. Whew, that is gorgeous. Look at that. Woo-wee. That is stunning. My God. All right. I'm going to get a little more paint because I want to see how it looks when it's, you know, just has a light layer. Because you know that when you use like a wash, what they call it a wash is like the lightest layer of paint that you can put down. It's called a wash. So I like to try and assimilate that into these swatch so that I know where it's darkest, how it looks, and where it's lightest, how it looks. I think that's important, even for colored pencils. Oh, this is so beautiful. Can you imagine this in a landscape picture, like for the sky or the sea? This would be stunning. And my favorite, last but not least, the Moon Glow. I have seen this. I've been eyeballing this online on Amazon for a long time. And I finally just took the plunge and got it. So let's get a little wet down here. Being hot, a cold press, it's not gonna flow all over the place as much as it would a cold press. Or a hot press, excuse me. Ugh. So I'm going to get that a little wet, and I'm just going to, and this one is not exploding out, which is great. The yellow did not either. So let's see. And you only need just a little. Daniel says stuff is so pigmented. Oh, look at that. Woo! Oh my gosh. Wow. That is gorgeous. Whoa. Wow, that is absolutely stunning. Whoa. You know what this reminds me of? I have an Etsy, one of the Etsy hand color type paints. I keep a lot of them in this little container because they're precious to me. There is a color, and these are dots, which Masha's watercolor, she sends a lot of these, and you can also order these just like this too. I highly recommend looking her up on Etsy. I want to see something. I want to not make a mess. I want to see if this is anything like No, it would be dark. Is it Dark Planet? No. Hold on. Hold on. I'm looking for a particular color. Let's find it together. It's called Dark Planet, I believe. Dark Shadow. Excuse me. I got it wrong. Dark Shadow. Oh my gosh. I want to see if this is anything like that. But yeah, this lady's watercolors are phenomenal. Oh my God. I love her. Go check her out on Etsy. Worth it. I want to see if this is anything like this. So I'm going to wet it and we're going to see. Her stuff is so good. And it activates so quickly. Let's see. Whoa, that's pretty close, guys. This one has more white in it, I think. It almost looks like they put white in it. So it's not as dark. If you added a little, if I added a little black to that, that would be this Moon Glow. It's just this with a little more black. It's pretty close to me. I think anyway. That was interesting. So let's dry these really quick, and let's without going everywhere. I also highly recommend getting one of these, guys, because they're awesome for things like this. And it dries them super quick. Her colors are so granulating, and they change. They change a lot sometimes when they're dry. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Hold on. Wet. See, I told you. When things dry, they look vastly different than when they're wet. So, that looks completely different dry. That does not look anything like that dry. But it did when it was wet a little. Wow, that's very interesting. So, what do you guys think? Ta-da! Minus this one. What do you guys think? Aren't they gorgeous? Especially that one. That one is definitely granulating. That's, I think, semi-transparent. I'm taking a guess because I can't find where it says on the tube. That is probably semi-opaque as well, to opaque possibly. And that is definitely granulating also, the Moon Glow. And you can tell by how splotchy. Do you see how that one kind of is? That means it's granulating. So that was fun. Oops, got a little paint there. Oh my gosh, these are so good, guys. Oh, love them. All right, and the other thing is this. I did not know that Prismacolor, and please pardon the reflections, guys, I'm sorry. Again, I'm having lighting issues, as I said. I did not know they had watercolor pencils. I have Derwent and Supra, which is from Caran d'Ache. But I did not know Prismacolor had these watercolors. So I'm gonna do a separate video on these, I think, and like an unboxing and stuff like that. So I'm gonna save that for later. But yeah, these are the colors that are on the back. They just list the number. It doesn't list the color, but it does have the little swatch of it. So it looks like it has a nice mix of a tiny bit of everything. This is going to be fun to play around with. Huh. So that should be fun. Now, the other thing that I got is I have a couple different forms of Derwent ink tints, and I love Derwent ink tints. I did an old video about them sometime back, and I think I might revisit it because I was experimenting with different lighting, different, you know, setups, equipment, all that stuff until I kind of got settled into something of sorts. So it may, the quality, audio quality may not be that great, but, so I may revisit it. But they put them in this box, which I'm now gonna have to fight to get open. Jeez. Hold on, guys. What the hey? Oh, never mind. Doing a dumb. All right. Brain fart. Oh, she put my ink, she put them, oh, okay. Not too crazy that she did that, but it's okay. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna be going through all of these. They had a whole big rack of open stock Linear. I was like, it was Linear and I forget the other one, Rembrandt. Oil pastels, but I saw these and I was like, ew, shiny. Look at these. I have Linear oil pastels now. I can say I have some, and they're so soft. It's just bananas. Look at that. Aren't they gorgeous, guys? I mean, I got one of every metallic shade they had because I use a lot of these things for accents and for block. When I'm doing watercolor and I want to block a certain area off, I will frequently put a oil pastel crayon over it, and it basically seals it so that when you, like, say you're doing a background and you don't want the picture to get messed up, you can just go over it a little bit with either a clear crayon or, you know, like a wax resist crayon. Oh God, words are hard. Or you can use an oil pastel crayon like this. I mean, these just, God, they were $5 a piece, y'all. Which is why I only got 4, but they're so soft. Oh Lord. All right, let's put this aside for a second, and I'm going to get some paper. All right. I have pastel paper, but it's kind of expensive. I don't really want to waste it on something like this, so I'm just going to use some regular drawing paper for now, and let's see what these look like. Obviously this is a gold of sorts. Ooh. Can you guys see? Oh, there you go. All right, let's go in just a little bit more. Hold on. All right, look at that. Ooh, that is buttery, and I'm barely pushing. I mean, barely pushing, and it's just, it's going on the paper like freaking butter. That is insane. Now, I'm going to show you guys a neat trick. I'm going to do all these, and this one obviously is like copper or something of that. So I don't have to push hard at all. It's just like sheer butter. That is nuts. Because some of the more generic ones, like the Artist Loft, like for example this one, I'll show you. Do you see the difference? How I'm having to push quite a bit harder. It's not as buttery as that. And you see the difference? It's vastly different. Let's see, where's the silver? Oh my gosh, these are just, they just glide right over this paper. It's insane. Whoa. Okay, and let's do the white. I know the white's not going to really show up. It's like a pearlescent white. Okay, so what you can do is grab you some Gamsol and a Q-tip. Oh, okay. Let me set this aside. Grab your little paper towel. I have this in a jar, not the jar it came with, because the lid on the jar that it came in broke. The part where you twist it around, twisted to get it off, it broke. I was like, okay, whatever, right? So, but the Gamsol, dab it on the paper towel so that it's not dripping wet with the stuff. You don't want too much, especially something that's as buttery and soft as this. Dude, this music is so weird. Excuse me, guys. I think I'm going to skip this one. Oh, wow, whatever. All right. Look at that. Now, if you want to go into the next area and you don't mind it blending, then, you know, don't change your Q-tip end. But if you want to keep them separate, a little bit separate, then just, you know, dip it back in and repeat. And did I get it in? Yeah, I did. Whoa. I'm going to let this silver run over that pearlescent white. Look at that. Whoa, that's crazy. And I got too much of the gamsol here, and see how it stripped it? If you use too much, it will strip it. Whether it be the colored pencil or the oil pastel, something that's especially highly pigmented like this, you really do have to be careful how much you use of the stuff. It can actually ruin your picture. So, all right, so let's see, let's put this aside. Oh my gosh, these guys are amazing. All right, I may have an issue with those, and I may have a purchasing issue with those in the near future. And these are just Inktense blocks that I bought. White is my most used one because it's antique white, so that I'm looking for my words. It comes off on a white background as being like a little off-white. It's really quite unique, especially if you want to preserve a highlight, for example. I would highly recommend this. And I'm not too happy that she put this in with the rest because it's got like stuff all over it. Anyway, and these are just, this one I think Ionian green, and I got a deep indigo, and I forget what the other one was. Oh, it's like 6 for like 2 something. So I did that. Aren't they pretty? Oh, goodness me. So if you want, I can show you real quickly what the colors look like, because some of them I honestly don't remember. I got a, let's see, I got a crimson, alizarin, a desert rose, burnt sienna. No, wait, that's something different. Okay. The Derwa Inktense ran about they were originally $3.79, and I got them for $2.85 each because, you know, buy 6, you get a certain price. So I had to look on my thing. And let's see, if I'm remembering correctly, I got chili red, willow, cherry, indigo, deep indigo, Ionian green, and sherbet lemon. Oh, and also iron green. So let's see what these look like. I mean, I already know on some of them, but these are really great for if you're doing a like a large area, large scene. Look at that beauty. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? Look at that. That's the willow. I don't even need to look to know what that is. This is a great mid-tone. Mid to light tone, depending on how dark you make it. Like if you make it like a wash, that's where it looks like a wash. But here it's a little bit darker, so it's more of a mid-tone. It's amazing how much of a difference it makes when you have stuff applied heavily in wet media versus like a wash form. It's really fascinating to me how that works. This is, I think, the chili red. Yeah, I love this color. Look at that. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Let's see, get it a little darker. Look how rich that is. These are so good for doing larger pictures. The pencils are good too, especially if you're doing a really small areas or you want to do an outline. You would make the outline with the pencil, and then you could fill it in with like watercolor that kind of, and have it all sort of bleed together if you want. But these are fabulous. I love the sticks. Ooh. Whoa, that's pretty. I'm gonna say this is the Desert Rose. That would make sense. Whoa, that's pretty. Look at that. Oops. Let's see how it looks darker. That is absolutely gorgeous. Whew. And obviously the white, now this is white paper, so let's see if it might not show up until it's dark. So yeah, it'll show up when it's dark. So we're gonna let that dry, and you'll see what I mean when it's dark. It'll show up a little bit more. So let's go on with the rest of these. I think this is the, let's see. Yeah, this is the Deep Indigo. I have it in a pencil, but I wanted it in a block because, like I said, sometimes the blocks are just better than the pencils. When you're doing a large area, if you're using your pencils, you're going to use up your pencils really fast. So I highly recommend investing in both the pencils and the blocks. So that way, if you're doing that larger area, you're not going to just use up your entire pencil. And there's multiple ways that you can use these. I'm picking them straight up from the block, like this. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm picking it straight up off the block. And you see how pigmented it becomes. That's the most intense way to get the most pigment, is just get a wet brush and just take it straight from either the pencil tip or the block. You can also get a, let's see, excuse the boarding house reach. You can also get a craft knife and just shave it like that. See? Ta-da! And you can do it that way. And then dab your pencil, and you see how that just kind of, that's all that pigment I shaved onto the paper. And there you go. Ta-da! So, let's continue. Ooh, this is my iron green. Ionian green or something like that. Let me look at my receipt. I don't want to mess it up. Ionian green, yes. I didn't want to mess it up. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely gorgeous. Woo! Love this. Love this. It has such a, like a gray, kind of blue, kind of undertone. Oh, that's gorgeous, geez. Let's see what this last one is. Whoops. Ooh, pretty. Which one is this? Oh, they rang it up wrong. There's no way. I did not buy sherbet lemon. They rang it up wrong. I'm not even sure what this is now. Holy crap. I'm going to have to look it up. I have a list somewhere with names and swatch and all that. I'm going to have to look it up because she rang this up as a sherbet lemon, which it is. This could be passed for that, you know, not that. So I'm not quite sure what this is. Let me know in the comments, guys. I don't recall what color this is, but it does seem granulating though a little bit. Huh. Oh, one other thing. It does show on, I'm gonna see if I could show you guys. I don't know if it's gonna show up on the camera, okay? But I'm gonna try. Let's see if it'll focus. I don't know if you could see that. It imprinted into the stick is basically the same things that you would see on the pencil. I don't know if you guys can see that. There it is. Okay, see, you can see. It's and it was the name, Derwent, all that jazz. So let's actually see. I'm gonna look on the, oh, and I got it upside down. Let's try this. Okay. It is, oh my gosh, it's hard to see. It is hard to see though, guys, because it is imprinted 1820. Let's see. It has England, Derwent, Inktense, and then the number. So I'm gonna have to look up the number because I honestly don't remember. So the other thing that I got, I'm gonna put these away for now. All right. I got some open stock Neo 2s. They have a fairly decent collection of open stock Neo 2s. I got this one, extra of this one, because this would make a great skin tone color. Like, that's a nice base for most skin tones. Just a base, mind you. And this one I was running kind of low on. This one is a alizarin crimson, burnt sienna. These are just some grays that I bought. That's like obviously a cool gray. This is a silver gray, which I love. Beige, which kind of is a gray, but kind of not. It's like a little both. And then this is just light gray. These are amazing. I did a review and a swatching, I believe, of these Neo 2s when I bought the full set sometime last year. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to take my prettiest one and I'm just going to go right on the paper. That's one way of doing it. Let me get my pen in here. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Drag my pencil. I don't want too much water on there. Whew, that is so pretty. Oh, that is gorgeous. And you see what I mean? How different it looks dry versus wet. I mean, you can see that they look related, but not the same. Like, that is an amazing difference to me. It just goes to show you never can tell. You can also pick it up straight from with your brush. You can also go like this, like I did those sticks, and you can pick it up this way. Well, sometimes it takes a minute. It has to activate, so sometimes it takes a minute to activate. It's still not activated. Hold on. There, it doesn't want to activate. I might not have enough water on my brush. Hold on. Let's try this again. There we go. Now it's getting there. It just doesn't want to activate for some reason. I think there might be a wax coating on the outside of it. There we go. It does take a minute with these. If you want to do it straight, make sure. This is one time where I would suggest to not rinse your brush off too much, because you're going to need to activate this. So you're going to need more water for that. It's the same with your in your little palette boxes. It's the same kind of principle. There we go. That took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but you see that's a nice pretty wash of it. And eventually the more you activate it, obviously the stronger it's going to look. So those are my prettiest colors, I think. But yes, I got these, so that's pretty cool. Let's see what else. Oops, I'm dropping stuff. All right, now this is the other thing. I love these two things. One of which I'm going to do, I think, a review on just white pencils in general. I have from multiple brands. I have the Chinese white from Derwent, and then I also have, I think it's Derwent, yeah, Derwent Drawing. That's where this came from, Derwent Drawing, the Chinese white. I've heard so many people talking about this particular pencil that I decided to check it out for myself. And then we have the Derwent Lightfast white. I have a Prisma white, a Holbein white. I think I'm going to do a video. Would you let me know in the comments if you would like to see me do a little video about that? I would be happy to do that. I think it could be fun. So, the other thing that I love is Poscas. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with Poscas, okay? Because they can explode if you're not careful, and sometimes even if you are, they can explode. I nearly had a picture that I have been working on for almost a week, and thankfully I was able to salvage it, but I was upset. I got a spare of the extra fine. I got a few colors, like a purple or red that I was running low of. My gold and my silver I always run out of. But I love these ones because, I'm going to twist the wrapper off. You'll see what I mean. And you should always shake it like this. I'm going to do this off screen so you don't get dizzy. Give it, you can hear it, right? Okay, that's the little ball inside the tube mixing the paint up. Okay. And the tips can vary between, woo, I don't know if you could tell that's so small, but ta-da, it's very small. And you want to just pump it gently. Don't push too hard or you will wreck your tip, okay? Sometimes you can do that and just leave it down there for a second. But don't push so really hard because you will break it. And you can tell when the paint starts to flow into the nib. You'll see it on the nib. And this one's, sometimes it takes a minute. There it goes. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I have glitter ones too. Oh my god, wait. I have to show you guys. I have, where is it? I have glitter ones like this, and they are phenomenal for highlighting and all this other sort of stuff. So let's try this pink one. I don't think I have this one at all. So you gotta shake it. Oh, I forgot to put my rings on. Oh, wow. Give it a shake. Give it a pump. Some will soak in faster than others. Sometimes you might have to go back and shake it a little more. But always do this, unless if it's an image you care about, always do it on another piece of paper or paper towel or something like that. Never pump and prime it right over your picture. Just trust me on that one. There we go. It looks like a musical note. That's actually an S. Ooh. Look at that. You can write with that like it's a pencil. Look at that. Isn't that phenomenal? Oh, hopefully you guys can see that. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So, that's that. And now the other thing that I have a whole lot of is these micron pens. I only got one because I have a whole bunch of colors. I absolutely love these pens. They are gorgeous. So let's see, because they are water resistant, borderline waterproof. So I got this beautiful black color. And once you let it dry, I'm going to show you a neat little trick. Watch this. You got to make sure it's good and dry. I'm going to empty out my little palette here. It takes maybe a minute for it to fully dry. Just give it a little test. Nope, it's good. It dries pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do is take some paint from my palette, and I'm just going to go over it. Now what I used is highly transparent, but do you see how it's not bleeding? It's not, the outline is not moving whatsoever. So like say if you were doing something like that and you wanted to change up the inside even, just grab it like that, wipe it on your paper towel, grab it again, wipe it on your paper towel. And then you can put something different in there. Let's try something different. It might bleed to the outside edge of it, but we'll see. If I'm careful, I should be able to. And it's still wet. I didn't dip it in any water, but you see that it's still wet, so it's still sort of spreading a little bit. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? I mean, so I highly recommend. They come in different styles. I'll show you. These are all of my micron pens and some of my Sharpies. Here, let's move this for a second. Because these are worth talking about for a second. That was my book bag. These are worth talking about. These are the little tips, like I showed you. Now, these are the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pens. They're micron pens still. They're just a different brand. Like these are made by, let's see, I think Archival Ink, and they're actually micron. However, these are, to me, I consider these to be micron pens as well, in a sense. They're just branded different by Faber-Castell, but they do the same thing as these. They, stuff will, once it dries, it will stay put. And you see this one has a beautiful brush tip. You can do all kinds of cool things with it. I mean, you can, these are really great for, and the more you do over it, the more it darkens. So if I wanted to do, like, it's like when you're using colored pencil or paint. So these are fantastic for if you want to do calligraphy. Now there's another tip that I'm going to show you. And these are actual micron pens. I think, let me see, where's my old lady eyes here? Pigma micron. That's what I see on the container. Look at these tips though. Hopefully you can see that, there's the shadow, but that's that tip. Isn't that cool? It does some really cool things. It's kind of like the brush pen, but a little more controlled, because a brush pen, you can sort of push it in different ways that you can't with this. However, these ones, the tips are very precise. A little more precise for like writing than even the regular tipped ones, like I first showed you. You see how precise that is? You can do really tiny, tiny details. I mean, it's just phenomenal what you would do with these things. And once that dries, I mean, eventually I could cover it up. You know, if I put enough paint or whatever down, eventually I could cover it up. But it would take, it won't bleed, is what I'm trying to say. So, you know, you have those tips, and then you have the brush ones, and then you have these other tip ones. And I think Sharpies are kind of the same thing. They once they dry, it kind of does this. That's why they're all grouped together like that. But they're really great pens to have, especially if you do a lot of wet media, writing, all that stuff. This is also great for that. Now the last couple of things that I wanted to show you was something I have not had a chance to really show. I did not get these from Blick, but I think they have it anyway. But I got this. I gotta move my stuff out of the way here. Let's move all my extra stuff out of the way. All right, there we go. I have not had a chance to play around with this, but look at this. I have a fellow streamer who has one of these, and I was like, and I don't really make cards too much, but I have other things. I have stencils, I could still use it. So I'm going to show you guys. I haven't even really, I don't think, taken this out of the wrapper yet. Yeah, that's how new it is to me. So look at that. Now I think the stuff's on the other side here. Whoa, there we go. Wow, this is so cool. There's a little ruler which can be moved. That's cool. Whoa, I've never, this is an unboxing in a sense. So from what I gather, and I've seen Karen Valentine use one of these too. I guess you would have to put one on either end to keep it balanced, I suppose. I'm not quite sure, guys. But the idea is, if you have some paper and you want it to not move, and then you put the other one directly under it, and it seals it. Now you could move it, but the other one on the bottom should move with it. Let's find out. Let's see if it moved. Nope. Okay, so I learned something. The bottom one will not move with the top one. I thought it would, but it does not. But if you line them up, it will keep things in place. Now if I take all these off, make sure I did. Okay, make sure I get them all. Okay, because you want this to lay flat. You can also do it this way, and that keeps it in place. Keeps it so if it won't pop up or anything like that. That is so cool. I can. And there's clean. Make art stay station with a damp cloth and mild detergent. So that's what it says for that. And you can see how it's all gridded up. And there's that little ruler on the other side. Oh, there's even a little hole here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but do you see the little hole? You can probably hang it up, I would imagine. Let's get this little ruler off. And look, nothing moved. And this has got the, oh, that's so cool. That is very cool. Oh, and they both do it. This side will, doesn't matter which side. Wow, that's cool. I'm just getting googly-eyed. Oh my god, that's awesome, man. I'm gonna have so much fun with this. Jeez, this is great. I think I paid like 20 something for it. It was a little pricey, but I think this is gonna be awesome. I cannot wait to play with that. So that, again, this is what the box looked like. I did get this at Michael's. Let's see, the company that makes it is Wendy, and I cannot read her last name, but it says Ranger at the bottom. So this might be Tim Holtz product. No, it says Wendy some. I can't read the signature. Sorry. Wendy Vet. Yeah, I can't pronounce it. At the bottom here it says VECCHI. Don't ask me to pronounce that. But that's her name is at the bottom, and then RangerInk.com. So it is by. It is, I think, a part of the Tim Holtz collection. I think it might be. Don't quote me, but Ranger is the name of some of his stuff. So this might be like a sub company that he works with, maybe. Let me know in the comments if you guys know this stuff, because I do not. But I think this is going to be a blast. This is going to be such a blast. For stenciling, for aligning, embossing. I mean, 4 brushed aluminum magnets, 1 flexible magnetic centering roller, and then obviously the board. Oh my gosh. I'm just googly-eyed over it. All right. The last thing that I wanted to show you guys is this. I ordered this off of Amazon, and I was just like, holy crap. Hold on, I gotta widen my shot out here so you guys can see the whole thing. I love these ceramic paint palettes. They are just, I love them so much. As you can see, this is my mid-sized one that I have. And the paints will reactivate. You can tell I was working on something recently. But, oh, be careful. Be careful. They will break. They're very heavy, but they are ceramic. You can see that it's like this on the back side. These are great. I have one that looks like a little flower. I have that one. But this one, I was like, oh. I saw this in a art tutorial that somebody was doing on YouTube, another streamer. And I was like, oh, she has my paint palette. And I believe I paid like $40 for this. It was a little expensive. But it's by Medine, which is a quality art company. They make a lot of really good stuff. But look at this sucker. Look at that. Isn't that phenomenal? I'm just like, I have not even had a chance to really use it. But I love the fact that it's like somebody took this and just doubled it. But the palette spots are way bigger than these ones. I mean, you can see a size difference between the amount of paint you can fit in here versus in this one. So the wells, that's the word. The wells are larger. But I like there's a big dividing area, like this area. And they just doubled it. So if I have 2 large areas like sky and land, and I want to, keep them separate, this be fantastic for this. This thing is heavy, you guys, though. Like, it weighs close to 4 pounds. It's 3.63. It weighs close to 4 pounds. I mean, you can hear how solid that is. I mean, and that's the back side of it. Be very careful. I think if you were to drop this on your foot, it would very much hurt. So, no dropping on feet or any other body parts, okay? Because it would hurt. But isn't that amazing, you guys? I'm so in awe of this thing. I think it's very worth it. And you can use acrylic paint with these, but I don't recommend it, honestly. I have. And unlike watercolor, the paint does not just come right off. Like, the acrylic paint just does not come right off like it does the watercolor. I'm not sure why exactly. Maybe it's just the way the two mediums dry differently, perhaps. The consistencies are different, so who knows? But I really wouldn't recommend acrylic. You could. It's just going to be harder to clean. I mean, with these ones, and I keep banging mine around, all you have to do is dip it, paper towel or rag or whatever, and just look how that wipes off. Ta-da! Look at that. What? Acrylic will not wipe off like this. Not in my experience. But look how easy that was to clean. So if you make a mess, paper towel it. And that's kind of it. I cannot wait to have a go with this. Oh my god, I'm so excited. All right, so that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions about anything that I showed you, feel free to hit me up in the comments, or hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram tag is at the end of the video in the outro. And I love you all, and stay safe and have a great rest of your week, guys. Bye.